Being involved in a motor vehicle accident that wasn't your fault is stressful enough as it is. First, there's the accident, the stress that comes with it, and by whatever channel, the repairer, the tow truck driver, the insurance company, you find out that your car is actually going to be a write-off, a total loss, as they say. What do you do? What do you not do? What paperwork do you sign? What paperwork don't you sign? It can be very stressful, but it doesn't need to be so. Stick with me for the next 2 or 3 minutes. I'll walk you through the basics that you need to understand to navigate yourself through this very stressful time and reduce your inconvenience. Catch me on the other side. Hi, and thanks for stopping by. I'm Kashmir Z, talking about claims. Today, we're talking about total losses, or write-offs. So your car's been deemed a write-off. What do you do? What does that mean? Well, what does it mean? It means that your car either is not economically viable to be repaired, so the parts exceed the cost of the actual vehicle itself, or for whatever structural reason, it actually just can't be repaired. It's extensively damaged, to put it politely. Now, whether you decide to go through your insurance company or whether you decide to go through the at-fault driver's insurance company can depend on the payout that you're going to receive. If you're going through your insurance company, in all likelihood, you probably have some sort of agreed market value with them, which is fine. That doesn't have a lot of degree of negotiation. Now, if you're going through the at-fault driver's insurance company, however, they're probably going to try and discuss a particular value with you. You probably will get lowballed at first, all right? Usually, the insurance company will try and give you market value. But what their market value is and what your market value is through investigation may not necessarily be the same. What I would encourage you to do if you're going through the at-fault driver's insurance company is make sure that you log on to websites like, I don't want to name any names, but websites where one can get market evaluation. And on those websites where you can get market evaluation of your particular vehicle, I would suggest that you put in your vehicle's make and model, similar year model, mileage, etc., and get 2 or 3 quotes. To be honest with you, get 3 or 6 quotes. It really doesn't matter. But you want to make sure if you're in that market value negotiation that you absolutely are getting your best bang for buck. That's critical to making sure that the matter actually goes in your favor. Now, in saying that, when you are looking at market values and you are discussing things with the insurance company, it's important that you don't have a hostile tone. All right, you are dealing with a person, and that person's objective is to mitigate outgoing payments. Now, take that into consideration with your negotiation. If you're being offered 5K and you manage to find quotations that suggest that your vehicle is at, let's just say 6.2K, if they offer you 6.1, probably don't get snarky over the extra difference. Yes, you've already negotiated a better deal. That said, don't let them romper stomp you, as it was, but make sure that you're not totally unreasonable. Otherwise, people being people, things can sometimes be delayed. Now, key to getting the matter resolved, whether you're going through your insurance company or the at-fault driver's insurance company, is the pace. You need to make sure that you keep up those communication channels. Call the insurance company initially, of course, have your dialogue, provide bank details, etc., but make sure that you follow up on the matter. Make sure that you get an ETA, as it was, for when you can expect payment. Usually, it will be about 5 to 7 business days, 5 to 10 business days, depending on the bank and depending on the insurance company. But make sure that you are in the mix straight away, getting in contact with these people and making sure that if there's any follow-up that was required or any requests that they had from you, you address it immediately and you follow up on it and let them know that you've addressed it immediately. That way, there can be no grey area that you have delayed the claim. You have been obliging in requests and timely in their execution. Now, depending on the insurer and depending on the arrangement, sometimes there can actually be the matter of paperwork. I will be honest with you, the greater majority of your major household names actually don't usually have a lot of paperwork. You'll find it's all verbal over the phone, which can seem a bit strange to most people considering you're about to get quite a sum of money paid out. But normally you will find there's perhaps a confirmation email, a discussion over the phone. There's generally not any sort of contract or any deed of release that you have to sign. Now, that is not always the case. Sometimes there are insurance companies that will ask you to sign a deed of release. If you're in a rental car from a not-at-fault credit hire company, make sure that before you sign anything, you let the rental company know. That way, if there's any exclusions or any wording that preludes to full and final payment, they can give you an idea of what you need to do to make sure that that's not going to affect the recovery of those hire car costs. It's pretty simple, actually. You just need to make it aware that you've addressed to the insurance company, whichever it is, that you actually are in the rental vehicle. As long as they're aware of it, yes, technicalities aside, that way the hire car costs can be recovered. But Make sure if you are sent any paperwork to be signed, make sure that you notify the rental company straight away before you sign anything. And if you're sent any, I think they call it a letter of total loss or a deed of release, depending on the terminology you want to use, hang on to that. The credit hire company will probably need to utilize that at some point down the line. Now, a final thing that I would like to address is the timeliness in which you consider what you're going to do with the settlement value. If you've caught wind that your vehicle is a total loss, I would suggest at that point, even as you're in the initial tentative discussions with the insurance company, think about what you're going to do with that settlement value. What I mean is, start looking for a new vehicle, yes? I know it's not something that's done in a day, but you've usually got at least 5 to 10 to 12 days until this whole matter is sorted from go to woe, as they say. And it's important to understand that once you've received those funds, your entitlement to the replacement vehicle, if you're in one, you may not be, but if you are, they end at that particular point in time. So you don't want to be left stranded now, and you also don't want to be out of pocket. So look into a car, get on those websites, probably the same that you're doing your market evaluation for if you're discussing the market value route, and find a vehicle, get an idea in your mind as to what you're going to do. So that way, once you've received your settlement, you're not then thinking, right, now I've got to get into all this. No, you already know. You've got your plan of attack in place, and you're 1, 2, 3, back on with your day. And these are the basics that you need to know to streamline your total loss or write-off experience, if one wants to call it that. Keep in mind the key things to keep into consideration are communicate to the insurance company initially, aggregate the best data for your market value price if you're going for the other person's insurance company, mitigate any sort of complication further on down the line by notifying any stakeholders regarding documents to be signed, and contemplate what you're going to do once those funds are cleared so you can get your new car. Thank you very much for stopping by. Certainly, if you've got the time, please like and subscribe on the buttons down below. That's greatly appreciated. And make sure that when you're out on the road, look after yourself, drive safe, keep safe, and most of all, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.